Over centuries, laws on banking, particularly money lending, evolved in the ancient Roman Republic. The change was mostly slow and gradual, but unusual events triggered a few major abrupt changes. In this video, I look at how the sexual harassment of a young man led to a complete overhaul of the NEXI system, a pillar of the money lending business in the ancient Roman Republic. I welcome you to my YouTube channel where I explore ancient texts. The ancient texts I explore in this channel are those that have been around for thousands of years. At the moment, I'm going through From the Founding of the City by title Livius or Livy. This collection of books covers the history of Rome from its founding by Romulus in the 750s BCE to the time when Augustus was emperor, which was close to 0 AD. If you have not subscribed, subscribe so that you do not miss any of the videos I publish. The office of the Tribune of the People had been created in 493 BCE as a response to the complaints of mistreatment of debtors by moneylenders. The people's representatives were meant to safeguard the citizens' rights, particularly on how much interest they were charged on the loans they received. Nevertheless, the creation of this office failed to change one of the fundamental elements of money lending in ancient Rome, the NEXI system, which involved insolvent debtors or their close relatives being held in bondage until debts were discharged. The bound people, the NEXI, became enslaved until the principal and the interest were paid back as actual money or hard labor. Often they were treated with extreme brutality, and as Livy illustrates, in some cases that included sexual assault. In 326 BCE, an incident happened that Livy describes as the cause of the change in the law of bonding debtors or their family members. Livy writes, "This year was marked by the dawn, as it were, of a new era of liberty for the plebs. Creditors were no longer allowed to attach the persons of their debtors. This change in the law was brought about by a signal instance of lust and cruelty upon the part of a moneylender. It so happened that Lucius Papirius lent money to a father who pledged his son Caius Publilius as collateral. Livy describes the youth as good-looking. Livy writes, "The beauty of the debtor ought to have called forth feelings of compassion, but instead acted as incentives to lust and insult. Finding that his infamous proposals only filled the youth with horror and loathing, the man reminded him that he was absolutely in his power and sought to terrify him by threats. As this failed to crush the boy's noble instincts, he ordered him to be stripped and beaten." Livy tells us that the boy was seriously injured before he managed to escape. He appeared in public bleeding and informed anyone who cared to listen about the lust and brutality of his father's creditor. Many people were horrified and outraged about what they heard, especially because many had their own children held in the city by other moneylenders. After forming a huge crowd, the citizens headed to the Senate House and protested. Livy writes, "In the face of this sudden outbreak, the consuls felt it necessary to convene a meeting of the Senate at once, and as the members entered the house, the crowd exhibited the lacerated back of the youth and flung themselves at the feet of the senators as they passed in one by one. The strongest bond and support of credit was there, and then overthrown through the mad excesses of one individual. Owing to the growing pressure, the consuls and the Senate had to look at the laws and see what could be changed to protect the people, especially the young and the vulnerable who were bonded because of the debt their families owed." Livy tells us that the Senate permitted the consuls to craft the necessary changes to the laws and present them to the public assembly for ratification. Livy writes, "The Senate instructed the consuls to lay before the people a proposal that no man be kept in irons or in the stocks except such as have been guilty of some crime, and then only till they have worked out their sentence, and further that the goods and not the person of the debtor shall be the security for debts. So the NEXI were released. It was forbidden for any to become NEXI in the future." If you found this video interesting, please take a moment to hit the like button. I also welcome your comments. See you in the next video.